Let's wait for 1 more minute and then let's get started. Okay, let's get started. Thanks everyone for joining today's session. So today and tomorrow we are going to focus on how to pass these business analyst certifications, right? So the curriculum for these 2 days courses, like what are the different types of business analyst certifications available in the market, and then what are the prerequisites for these exams, what is application fee and exam fee for these certifications, and how to pass these exams, right? What are the how to prepare for these exams and how to pass these exams, and finally, like whether it's worth to do these certifications. So first topic, we are going to learn about what are the different types of business analyst certifications. So you all know that the leading provider for all the certifications currently is IIBA. So it is International Institute of Business Analysis. So it's a private organization operating from Canada. Okay, so don't think it's something like from US. It's from Canada actually. So if you see, right, they're from Ontario, Canada. So it's a private organization. But what they do is like they have like certain certifications that they provide, which in the industry is considered as like a standard, right, for business analysis. So, for example, they have about like 3 important certifications for BAs. One is like IIBA. So let me take, I'm sorry. One is ECBA. So first is ECBA, then CCBA, and then third one is CBAP. So ECBA is called Entry Certificate in Business Analysis. This is like stage 1. Okay. And then CCBA is called Certification of Capability in Business Analysis. This is stage 2. And then CBAP is the final stage. Okay. For ECBA, right, there is no prerequisite. Anybody can take ECBA certificate, exam, and get certified, because this is like very easy for, if you see the exam pattern, it's just 50 questions. 50 multiple choice questions. It's based upon the babok book. So this IIBA, they have like one book. That book is called babok. Okay. So what mostly the questions will come from that book only. So, and it is like multiple choice, 50 questions, and exam time is 1 hour. So how you are going to prepare for these examples? Like they've given like sample questions. If you see why it is important for a business analyst professional to know the role of a stakeholder, and then what is like one reason assumption are identified. Like this very single line, and then there are just 4 choices. You have to click one, and mostly everything is going to come from babok. So the knowledge area is like there are 4 different knowledge areas. So this babok, right, I have done like 10 videos on babok. So I will link all the videos in this. Once I upload this video, right, I will link all the 10 videos. I've done a complete end-to-end line by line video for babok, how to learn that material and how to understand the material and everything. So there are like 4 different chapters that you have to be very familiar. The most important one is elucidation and requirements lifecycle management, and also the requirement analysis. Planning and monitoring is just only 5%, and other questions will be from these 3 knowledge areas. So you need not have anything like extra. What you have to do is, like, if you think like you are a beginner and you don't know anything about business analysis, you don't have any experience, and like you want to take some kind of professional certification so that you can add value to your resume. Because if you are basically from non-IT, and let's say you are from something like biotechnology, okay, bachelor's in biotechnology engineering, something like that, and when the interviewer sees your resume, right, you say that, yeah, I want to become a business analyst, and I want to learn this, that. You give so much. See, they don't take you seriously, because they know you've done, you're not a computer science graduate, you're getting into IT, and you don't have any real life experience also. So in that case, they'll be like, okay, how are you going to like add weightage to your resume? Something that has to say that you're curious, or you have a lot of interest in business analysis, right? How do you prove that to the interviewer? So interviewer will be like, okay, now you have done certification in business analysis. That tells you that you have like that extra effort, right? You're taking that extra effort to prepare for that exam, clear that exam. So that means like you're really serious. Now if you compare two candidates, or let's take like 10 candidates, they're coming to an interview, and on a skill set level is everybody is like, okay, everybody is fine, but the interviewer is going to look for that one extra thing in them. So if someone has done this kind of certifications, means that's an added value for their resume and for them, because something tells that these people are taking that one extra step to be very professional in their career, right? Because it's not easy. If you see the exam fees, then you'll be like, oh, I don't want to take it, because very expensive exam. I'll tell you how much is it. So okay, this is ECBA. Now it comes to, I'll tell the other differences, and I'll tell you about the exam fees. For CCBA and CBAP, these two are very tough exams compared to ECBA. ECBA is like, I think 95% most people will clear it, because it's already. Can you guys go on mute? So for CCBA, right? The For CCBA and CBAP, the prerequisites are there. So you cannot take CCBA and CBAP if you don't have any kind of real-time business analysis experience. So for CCBA, the criteria to take this exam is you need to have at least 2 to 3 years of experience. Okay. So ability to take on larger or more complex projects. How they're going to like validate that experiences, they're going to ask for about a minimum of 3,750 hours of business analysis in the last 7 years. And you should, in that 3,750, right, they want documentation on whether you have worked on all the 6 knowledge areas in babok. So I don't know that babok is the bible for business analysis, right? So there are like actually 6 knowledge areas. So you have to show like every knowledge area, you have to show that you have worked at least 900 hours. Okay. And in addition to that, they need 21 hours of PDUs. PDU is professional development. So what this means is, like, let's say you are saying that I have 3,750 hours, and somehow I can clear that check. You say you're giving some kind of your friend's reference, and you're clearing that check. Okay. Now, that's not enough to take this exam. What they want is like minimum of 21 hours of professional development. So what is this 21 hours of professional development? They have contract with certain vendors. Okay. So let me show you the vendor details. If you let me take the name, vendor details. Okay. So they have, so IIBA endorse educational providers. If you click on this, you will know. So they have like multiple level of different kind of, this providers. Okay. So One of them is actually find and okay.
Ma'am, I have one question. Can I ask?
Not now. Let me finish the training.
Okay, fine.
So if you see here, right? So they have asked for like these are the endorsed education and training vendors. So for example, IIBA, right? They have contract with all these vendors. If you see the vendor's name, you have Master Labs, you have Adapt to US, you have Tech Canvas, you have IBM, mind mapping consulting, and see Tech Canvas is there, Adaptive US. So these are like different kind of educational, like training vendors, okay? And they provide courses. For example, if you see CCBA or CBAP, for CCBA and CBAP, Tech Canvas is providing training. And then if you see other vendors also, there are multiple vendors, Simply Learn. All these vendors are there. Some of them are there in YouTube too. But the problem is it's a paid training. If you go to Tech Canvas also, let me log into Tech Canvas. I'll show you how much it's in Tech Canvas. So if you see in Tech Canvas, if you see their courses, you will know that they are training for the CBAP, right? Let's say CCBA. Okay. CCBA, for the 21 hours, they are providing a course. Like they're giving all the study materials and they are providing that course. Okay. If I want to click enroll now, if you see the fees, it's about around 14,000 Indian rupees. Like it is like 14,000, and think you have some discount too. You have to, I think, ask them for discount. But in US, it should be something around $150 or something like that. Okay. And they have bundles too. So this is just for their training. This is like for if they have some kind of this includes IIBA membership, application fee, and all that. So they are licensed vendors with IIBA. Okay, so for example, if you go with this 43,000, what will happen is this includes IIBA membership, application fee, exam fee, everything. So because there are two types of fees for this CCBA. So first is you have to get, let me write down so that you guys can understand. So for CCBA, first thing you have to do is like you have to enroll with one of their vendors. Okay, to gain that 21 hours of PDU. Okay, so there are three fees here. One is that vendor is going to charge you. Okay, so that vendor means, let's say that ABC vendor. That ABC vendor is going to ask you maybe $150. Okay, in Indian rupees, it's going to be 15,000 rupees, okay, on average. And then second fee is you're going to have an application fee. Okay, application fee is around, let me check the application fee. IIBA, I go to IIBA, I click on this, get started. Okay, so this is the application fee, not the exam fee. There are two fees. Okay, so this is the application fee. $145 is the application fee. So just convert and tell me what is exactly $145 in rupees. Okay, so that's there. The third one is exam fee. Okay, so exam fee is, again, I told you application fee is different from exam fees, right? Let's say that I'm now registering for the exam. So this is application. Where is my exam fee? So once, see, that's the problem. They're not showing the fee here. It will be around, because I've taken CBAP, so I know that it will be around 350 at least. Okay. So overall, it's very expensive exams, and it's going to be in Indian rupees. It's going to be around something like 50,000 rupees, right? Including the training, it will be around more than 50 to 60, depending upon the which vendor you're going to select for this training. So in the application, what they're going to ask you is they're going to ask you documents, not documents, they're going to ask you references for those 3,750. And if you say that I have 3 years of experience and I already worked as a BA, and then if you're saying that you want to take this exam, they're going to ask for 2 references, okay, and their email IDs. Also, they're going to ask their phone numbers and also which company you worked, okay, your current company. And then they're going to ask for your company's website, your company's phone number, and then email ID. Email is not mandatory, but they're going to ask for some website, okay? So all this you have to give. Also, you have to complete this training with one of their vendors and get certificate. For example, you're going with Tech Canvas. So Tech Canvas or anybody can, not only Tech Canvas, it can be anybody, Simply Learn. All these vendors are official vendors from IIBA. So let's say that you're going with this Tech Canvas, okay, and you completed all their training, and now you got certification from Tech Canvas. Now they want that someone from Tech Canvas to verify that you studied with them, so that you have to give one name, okay? So name and phone number from the educational provider, okay? So that you have to submit in the application. So when you submit the application, these are some things they're going to ask, and they're going to ask you whether you got trained on the 6 knowledge areas. So the 6 knowledge areas are, I will show you what are the 6 knowledge areas. So CBA handbook. So see, this is the exam steps, right? So first is you have to fulfill your eligibility requirements. Eligibility is 3,750 business analysis hours. Also, you should have done that 21 hours of learning from one of the vendors. Then you have to purchase their application, fill all your details, submit the application. So once you submit the application, they're going to review your application, okay? So they're going to check everything, whether you've completed the training, whether you actually you have experience and all that. See here, work history, they're going to ask references, and you're going to purchase the application, you're going to submit it. If your application is approved, okay, only then you can purchase the exam. Okay, so the 2 fees, don't get confused with 150, 145 is not the exam fees. It's just application fees. Once your application is approved, then that exam fee, that icon will be available for you, where you can purchase the exam. It's $350, and you can either take it online or you can go to a test center and take it. So you can do it both ways. For CCBA, the exam hours is, I'll give you an idea of how that exam hours, I think it's 3 hours, but let me confirm. Yeah, it's 3 hours. So it's like 130 multiple choice questions. It's scenario based. Okay. ECBA is very simple. It's 50 questions. Everything is single line statements, and you have multiple choice. You have to click one from that. But CCBA, it's 130 questions, multiple choice, scenario based questions. So it will be mostly if you want to see the exam questions, it will be like this. Okay. A company has been using application for several years, but one component has manual entry. Now they want to automate this application. As a business analyst, what is the first step that you will do? So first thing is you have to perform stakeholder analysis. You will get the name of all the stakeholders, who are the external stakeholders and internal stakeholders. And if you see, if his answer is not there, right, everything will look like answer. Okay, first thing, okay, I'm going to schedule a workshop, then I'm going to like gather all the requirements, then I'm going to prioritize the business. Like everything will look like answers. So it's very confusing unless and until you are like properly, tech canvas will train you. Okay, but that's not enough. You have to like take multiple questions and then you have to practice it. At least it takes 2 months for you to have that exam mindset, right? Because it's 3 hours exam and you have to finish all the 130. Everything is scenario based. It's a lot tough exam. People, and if you see the exam fees, if you know that it's about 50,000 rupees, you're investing on yourself for this exam. And if you fail, you fail. That's all. There is no, you cannot retake it again. And all. For retake means again you have to do all this like application fee, exam fee, and everything. So what are the 6 knowledge areas? Business analysis, planning and monitoring, elucidation and collaboration, requirements lifecycle management, strategy analysis, requirements analysis and design definition, and solution evaluation. All the 6 knowledge areas will be covered by Tech Canvas. So that's why they want you to go for that private training. Okay, all the 6 knowledge areas, complete babok materials they're going to cover. Also, they are going to like cover all like sample questions and everything, right? Not only Tech Canvas, Tech Canvas is one of their vendors. You can go with any vendor who's going to provide that training for you. So this is for CCBA. For CBAP, CBAP is the final advanced exam. I have taken this exam. I've cleared this exam like 3 to 4 years back. So I will tell you, it's one of the toughest exams. And here, the eligibility is like you should have 7,500 hours. Okay, 7,500 hours of business analysis work experience in the last 10 years. And then you should have minimum of 900 hours in all the 6 babok knowledge areas and minimum of 35 hours of professional development. For the 35 hours, again, you have to take that from one of their educational providers. And I actually took from Tech Canvas because they have some of the cheapest options. So I just went here and then I got their early bird, something like that. So I didn't take their materials. I didn't go for their full-fledged bundle and all. I just took their like basic course. Enroll. Yeah. So for CBAP, it will be a little bit extra. So I just went for this basic one because I know, this training is just for IIBA to say that they have covered 6 knowledge areas, right? But this is not enough. They give you some more questions and everything. You have to practice this. This will take at least for a month for you to get used to this 800 questions. Everything is scenario based, case studies. So you have to practice on your own. And then because this is a very time sensitive exam. So total, I think you have to take within 4 hours. I remember it's 4 hours. 3.5, yes. So it's 3.5 hours and then 120 multiple choice. For CCBA, it's 130. But this 120 will be everything very complicated scenarios. So if you see their blueprint, right? This is not like, the exam questions will not be like this in single line or something. Very, very complicated scenarios will be given to you and you have to crack it. Okay. So just by reading these materials or just by going to Tech Canvas training, you will not be able to crack it. So from my experience, you have to solve all the previous, like maybe 1 or 2 years, like cumulative, all the exam papers, right? You have to get that and then you have to practice. So if you practice about like 1,000 questions, now you'll be able to like finish all this 120 questions in 3.5 hours, right? So that's how you're going to crack it. So just for the eligibility sake, yes. So you need to show that you have 7,500 hours of business analysis work. You're going to give references. And again, you're going to like get training from one of their vendors, complete that training. And it depends from each vendor, right? When they're going to start their training and end their training. So some will take like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Some will take, I don't know, maybe weekends they take classes. So what, according to your flexibility, you have to complete this professional development and you have to, IIBA will check with them whether you're completed or not. And then you have to provide references. So after everything is completed, once your application is approved, only then you can take the exam. I took the exam like in exam center because online, I don't prefer taking it online. So I like that exam environment. So I went to a test center so that nobody's bothering me. I'm inside a cabin. So 3.5 hours and then like 120 questions. So you already practice about 1,000 questions, right? So now you know, and your brain is so much tuned to all these exam patterns and everything. So you're not overwhelmed, you're not shocked by every question. And I will tell you all the multiple choice questions, answers, everything will look like answer. A is also answer, B is also an answer, C is also answer, and D is also answer. How I'm going to like finalize which is the correct one. So for CBAP, I would, if you're a beginner, I would say that do not go for CCB and CBAP. Don't waste your money. Just take ECB. But if you already have some kind of, so if you're above 30 and you want to somehow like catch up with other peers, or like if you're going for directly for senior BA, you're adding that fake experience in your resume, you want to somehow crack this exam, then that is also possible, but it takes immense effort from your side. So I've created the study planner for you guys. So every day you have to study at least for 2 hours. Every day you have to study for 2 hours, and every topic. For example, today I'm going to okay, so you're going to write it here. So no, it's not. So for example, it's like, for example, knowledge area 1. Okay, so I'm going to complete business analysis, planning and monitoring. So if I'm going to take that topic, means how long it took for me to start and finish. So it took 2 hours, 3 hours, or how many hours? And you're going to add notes. So every day you're going to like finish this. You're going to take some topic. What are your study goals? So there are about 6 knowledge areas. For every knowledge area, I'm going to like at least finish maybe 20 questions, 30 questions every day. And what are the resources I'm going to use? I'm going to use maybe Simply Learn, their training material, or I'm going to use babok, or I'm going to whatever interview questions, the exam questions I have in the internet, I'm going to take all the dumps and I'm going to prepare however you want to use it, right? You can take all those help, add all the resources list here, and task will be like for that particular day. Okay, for example, if it's going to be knowledge area 1, how long it's taking for me to complete 20 questions. You're going to like time, you're going to have a timer with you, and then you're going to like, for example, 20 questions, I'm taking 2 hours. Then maybe in a week later, 20 questions, you're going to do it in half an hour. So because it's 3.5 hours for 120 questions. Okay, so you have to like time every question and how your brain works and everything. It will take time. It will take at least like 2 months for you to, if you have every day, if you're allocating like 2 hours, then I think you should be able to clear it. That's how I cleared it. So every day I'll take the training materials from Tech Canvas, their questions, papers, and everything, and I'll sit down, I'll time, and I will have notes like this. Okay, what is the topic I'm going to study today? Start time, finish time, and then notes whether I'm able to finish it within 1 hour or like that. And then when you are able to complete 120 questions in 3.5 hours, then you are like at least 50% you are prepared. Right now, from a timing perspective, you're prepared. But what about scenario based perspective? So you at least practice 1,000 questions, only then you will be able to clear it. Yeah, so these are the 3 different exams, and I won't recommend CBAP for someone who have zero experience. I won't recommend CCB also. It's very expensive, and you have to like get trained. And if you don't have time, please don't do this. You can directly go for ECB. But from a value perspective, they know, industry knows. If you have done CBAP means you have invested considerable amount of time, and you have cleared this exam. So if you add in your resume that you are CBAP certified, they know that you have done some kind of work. Okay. Okay. Now, like, you can ask me questions on these 3 certifications. Do you have any questions?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
I have experienced 2.5 years in IT. So can I do this certification or go with my internal certification or Coursera and all?
Yeah. So from a value perspective, I mean these have higher value over Coursera courses. But one thing you have to, like, there are three things you have to keep in mind, right? One is like, do I have the money? It's going to take 50,000 rupees, right? Do I have the money and do I have the time? So you can go for ECBA and CCBA since you said you have 2+. You can go for CCBA also. You can provide references, but whether you have funding or whether you have time, because I told you this is not very easy to clear. So every day, at least 2 hours, you have to spend, at least an hour and a half, you have to spend for 2 months in order for you to get used to these exam patterns and everything. Coursera and all is like online, right? So it's not by some, this is like in International Institute of Business Analysis, like the highest standards for BA right now. We have no other institute compared to IIBA who can provide like this kind of standard exams, and they know they don't take any kind of nonsense. For example, you do something wrong in their audit, then your application will be denied. You do something fraud, that's it, you can never take their exams. So you have to be very careful on what you're saying in the application, what kind of references you are giving, and they can revoke your certification too. So for example, they think that if somebody else is taking that certification for you, or somehow you're clearing the certification, if they come to know in the audit, they can revoke your certification too. So it's not that you're certified from them, it means like forever you're certified, no, right? So everything is monitored. Even if you're taking it from home through online, it's proctored, right? So someone is monitoring you. Even exam center also, someone is monitoring you. So you have to be well prepared. But Coursera is not like that. It can take it any time from home and nobody's monitoring. It's not proctored.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Any other questions?
Hi,
Yes, good
Pratibha.
morning.
Sonali here. Hello.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for this session, Pratibha. So I have a question regarding the referral. So do I have to like give the details of my current managers, and also do I have to submit work experience as such, because I do not have BA experience. I want to transition my career into BA. Like I have
No, they
investment
don't
banking
ask
knowledge.
any kind of like documents or anything. All they ask is like, are you currently working, from which date to which date? So you can give your, if you're working currently, you can give that employer name and everything. And that reference is right. They're asking either email ID or phone number. So in case if your application is going for audit, I don't know what's algorithm for audit. Okay. In case if it's going for audit, they'll send an email to that reference, and that reference has to say, yes, Swapna has these like 3,750 hours of B experience. That can be through email or phone. So it's not mandatory. Phone is not mandatory. So with only you can give one reference, their name and email ID too. And if they get it, if you're getting into audit, not all the applications are into audit, right? But if you're out of luck and your application is taken for audit, then they are going to like send an email to that reference, whatever you're providing, and that particular person has to verify through their email ID that yes, this person worked from this date to this date as BA in our organization.
Okay, and what about like if I'm not working right now, like I'm planning to take break, and in that, do I have to like give the this referral details from my previous organization if I'm not working?
Yeah. So when did you graduate? Which year?
Graduated like 8, 9 years back. I'm currently working, and like right now I'm on my notice period, and I'm thinking to give the exam in couple of months.
Correct. So
So
someone
at
has,
the time,
you can give your current employer, okay, because right now you are working in I mean, your application can be approved within 2 days also. That's not that's not at all a problem. Can someone like refer? I mean, if suppose you are getting into audit, you need to have a valid email ID from those two references. Do you have those two people?
yeah,
Nobody's
yeah,
going to
I
call
have.
your HR. Nobody's going to do that.
Okay.
Nobody's going to
Okay,
do that. They
understood.
don't have money and resources to do that. Okay, they're one organization for the whole universe. They're doing it. Okay, so they don't call your HR. They don't ask for your experience certificate. No, they're going to email that email ID that you're providing them
Mm-hmm.
for those
Okay,
to,
understood.
yeah, it can be from your colleagues or it can be your, I mean, it can be anybody. But if suppose you get into audit, your application is picked in the audit, and an email is sent to that particular person, they have to just press or email saying that, I don't know whether it's an icon or something, yes or no, but they have to say that yes, Swapna has worked as a BA from this day to this day. That's all. That's the only thing IIBA is looking for.
Yeah, understood. Thanks. I
Yeah.
have actually one more question. So, in 7 8 months back, I have done this training, CCBA, IIBA approved from a one Mumbai West training organization. From there, I have done the training, and I have 35 PDOs. But I'm not sure if this training institute is there in that IIBA list,
Okay, let me
approved
check.
list.
Okay, you didn't check
Yeah.
that when you paid the money?
I didn't check that. I was not aware
Okay, what's
of
their name?
this list. Train Smart.
Train Smart.
This,
Okay. Is this right? Is the spelling right?
I guess so. Yeah,
This one, Trains per Academy. Yes, they are.
yeah,
They
yeah.
are. They are
It's
approved
there.
by. Yes.
Okay. And what is the validity of this PDOs? Like I have received 35 PDOs. I have completed.
When did you finish
So
that?
it's in I've done it in February this
February.
year.
Feb.
Yeah.
I think it should have. So let me check. I don't want to give you wrong information. See, I know the application. Once the application is approved, you have to take the exam within 1 year. That's there. But I think they are not going to look for like when you completed the training with that vendor, right? But let me confirm. Give me a second. But if you apply for that exam and your application is approved, you have 1 year to take that exam.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say you anything?
No, not sure. I'm not sure. Actually, they did not mention anything about the validity.
Mm,
It just came to my mind right now when I was listening to you. So I just thought of asking you, like, is there any validity as such for this videos?
expression. I'm thinking. Okay, give me a second because mostly people are going to take in a year, right? Okay. Let me check screen. So they have not mentioned anywhere that see it is 12 months from the day IIBA received an exam or uh, so after the application is approved, right? It is
This
12
is for,
months.
yeah, this
So
is for application. Yeah.
yeah. So they have not anywhere listed here. Can
Mm.
I,
Okay.
let me take. Otherwise, they would have listed here. No, I don't think so. There is any kind of
Mm.
timeline that you have to like take the exam within certain date. But I would recommend you to take within like February.
Okay, before
Correct.
February
Mm-hmm.
next year. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we don't know about these vendors, right? Sometimes they can even close and leave. So I mean, how much did you invest on the training?
I invested around 40,000
40?
in 40,000. Yeah. Actually, I did Agile training also. So
Hmm.
around 40,000 I invested.
Oh, that's too much, I think, for this
Yeah.
exam. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So my recommendation is like, do you know how? Yes, Swapna. So, see, my recommendation, you're going to go for CCBA or CBAP.
Actually, I'm planning for CCBA.
Okay. So, yeah, if you're going to go for CCBA, uh, okay, let me stop the recording because I don't want this to be in internet floating around.
I want to.
Okay, let me add it in the chat. Okay, I've added in the chat. So,
Yeah, thanks.
okay, so anybody has any other questions regarding this IIBA exams?
Yes, I do. Good morning. Thank
Hi.
you so much for sharing your knowledge. I really appreciate your time as well. So I'm new into business analyst. I took a boot camp and I really wanted to get some kind of certification to enhance my resume. So from what I learned today, it will be appropriate for me to do the ECBA, correct?
So you, I mean, from which country you're from? I mean,
I mean, yeah, I'm in here in New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can try CCBA, but the problem is, do you have any references?
Yes, I do.
If someone can verify for you those hours.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, the places that I worked.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, someone. I mean, it not always your application is going to go for audit, right? I'm telling that again and again. Sometimes within like 2 minutes, your application can be approved.
Okay.
Okay, so
So,
the application usually asks like, what is your start date, end date? What are
okay.
the hours? For example, if you're going to take CCBA, it's going to ask for 3,750 hours. And then it's going to ask for your current employer name and then 2 references.
Okay.
And then, and you have to take additional training from one of their vendors. That's a mandatory thing.
Okay. So I can go for the CCBA, correct?
Yeah, provided you
Okay.
have all that money, and you should take, I told you, for those professional,
Yes.
you have to take training from one of their vendors.
Yes. Got it.
So I
Okay.
can give you the link where you can find their vendors, right? See here. So find in dot vendors. So here, if you search, let's say in New Jersey, nothing is there. So maybe you want online or classroom, however you want. Okay, I'll give you the.
Yeah, I can do online as well.
Yeah, so I'll put the link in the chat so that
Okay.
you can, whichever provider is like comfortable for you, you can
Okay.
choose one.
Got it.
And also see the prices will differ very, I mean, like one will
Okay.
charge 40, I mean, like $200, one will charge maybe $150, one can charge even $1,500. So you have to be very careful.
Got you.
Okay. So
Thank you.
yeah.
So, okay, yeah. So I will lean towards because I know you were talking about the differences and the weight they both carry. So, yeah. So,
And if you are able to clear it, I think for 2 to 3 years, the exam pattern is 130 questions, 3
okay.
hours exam. So it's not going
Okay.
to be difficult like CBAP,
Got
but
you.
it's not very easy as ECB also. It will have some kind of difficulty, but you'll be able to, I think you'll be able to pass.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Is there anybody else who has any questions on these certifications? Okay. I will go to the next one. Next one is.
Ma'am, can you share that vendor link also in chat?
Yeah, I've added in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. So the next one is like very domain specific business analyst certifications, right? So we have two certifications. One is Salesforce and one is Pega based business analyst certifications. So the difference, I'll tell you what is the difference. Difference is these are pretty generic. IIBA doesn't have any industry, something like this is only for IT or this is only for like healthcare, or this is only for banking, something like that. No, it's a very generic institute where you can be even from like any kind of, let's say you're working for a mining company and you are a business analyst for a mining company, you can take this certificate. You can be working for retail, you can be working for any e-commerce company. It's not very specific to IT, right? So one thing about IIBA is if you get certified from IIBA, it's a very generic certification, which is today you're working in IT, tomorrow you're going to a different industry, still the certification is valid. Okay, your experience is valid as a BA and the certification is also valid. Whereas Salesforce and Pega are IT-based certification. Okay, Salesforce, is a product, and Pega is also a coding platform. It's a product. Both are like coding products. So if you want to get into Salesforce, let me show you. This is the official Salesforce website. Okay, so I'm going to copy that and add it in the chat. Okay, so Salesforce have their business analyst certifications. If you think that your budget is, if you have very low budget and you want to do something, you cannot afford IIBA. It's very expensive. Now, if you want to do something within $200 and you don't want to do any extra training and everything, then you can do Salesforce. Okay, so here all they are asking is you need to have 2+ years of business analyst experience, and you need to know basic like knowledge about Salesforce. And you don't need to get any kind of training from anybody. They provide the training modules. Okay, anybody can take this exam. For example, business analyst, consultant, business system analyst, product owner, platform manager, CRM manager, business operations. Anybody can take it. It's not very specific to only to business analysts. Anybody from this role can take it, these roles. And then one thing is, see here, 60 multiple choice questions. And it's 105 minutes. 105 means it will be around 2 hours, right? Something around 2 hours, yes. And passing score is 72%. And it's only like $200. And you don't need to take any kind of training. They provide the training materials. So training materials will be like, so Trailhead is their official like name. Salesforce name is Trailhead. So they have all the modules. Okay, so if you go to their website, right, you can just sign up and everything, all this is free. Okay, so you'll be learning about like how to collaborate with stakeholders, what is business process mapping, how to review requirements, how to like refresh your user story skills, acceptance criteria. It's pretty much basic. It's about 35 minutes. You'll be able to complete all these modules. Next is, let me close. Yeah. So once you finish that training, they also have some materials. So materials are, what is that? Yeah. So if you see here, right, they have some materials. Okay, so module, essential business analyst skills. Then something, all the different modules are there. You have to be able to finish that. And they're giving an idea of how this exam will be. Okay. So there are some practice questions. You can use that. But my candidates who have taken this exam has provided me feedback that these materials are not enough, right? They're going to ask about 70% business analysis questions. And then maybe 30% is Salesforce material. If you see here, this is the exam pattern. So collaboration with stakeholders, business process mapping, requirements, how do you gather requirements, how do you write user stories, and all this, how do you write acceptance criteria. So one other candidate actually told me he saw my videos, that 10-hour videos, and some other, like I've already done a few videos on all these topics, right? Like how to gather requirements and all. So he said like those techniques were all useful. And for this also, I recommend people getting the previous 12 months question paper, and then I mean, I don't guarantee you'll get the same exact questions or not, but the pattern is going to be the same. Okay, so you will know if this is a question, you'll be able to rule out the options and you'll be able to pick the correct one. So this is for people who want to specifically get into Salesforce, and or if you think that no, I don't want to get into Salesforce, I want to do something very generic, then save your money, then you can take IIBA. But if you think that I want to get a job within like 2 months, 3 months, I want to add some value to my resume, or I want to get into Salesforce very specifically as Salesforce business analyst, then please, you can take this exam. It's going to be very easy compared to IIBA, CCB, and CBAP. This is easy, very straightforward. But you can get the training materials from their website itself, and also please get the previous 12 months question papers, prepare it, and then you can take the exam. This one you can also take it online, or you can go for a test center too. It's up to you. Okay, any doubts on Salesforce exam? Anybody interested in taking Salesforce?
Yeah, I'll be interested since I'm coming into the field. So yeah, I'll be interested in taking it.
Yeah, but see, you're basically non-IT, right?
I have some IT in healthcare. I work as implementation analyst.
Okay.
So I have some kind of background knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, so it's up to you if you want to get
Okay.
into IIBA. But see, mostly people, what you have to do is, my recommendation is please research on what are the certifications that are like the job description, right? They want you to
Okay.
have.
Okay.
Well, whenever like take few JDs and see what are the certifications they're asking for. Mostly they'll be asking from IIBA only. Okay. This is for people who want to specifically get into Salesforce. This is a coding platform. Okay. So there will be Salesforce developers, admins, there are different kind of roles. And so in that case, you want to get into very specifically as a Salesforce business analyst, then you should be able to take this exam. If you're like pretty much generic about you can get into any kind of industry, then I prefer you to do IIBA only.
I've been hearing the buzz about Salesforce, so if it's already sparked my interest that it will be one of the companies I would like to get into.
Okay, so yeah, in that case, you should be able to crack this, but also don't do it like, see, people have excitement about all the certifications and all that, right? And then they'll be like paying for the exam and all, and then they'll fail. I've seen multiple people doing that. So to take your own time.
Okay.
That's why don't apply now and immediately after a week don't take that exam.
Right.
Okay, so you have to like take it slowly, and every day you have to train your brain. Okay, because for exams you need to have a different kind of mindset.
Right.
Okay, it's not like interview. For exams, it's like it's a timed thing. Right? So please have this study planner.
Okay.
Something like this. Then time all your questions. How long you're taking like for every question. When did you start, finish? What is the total time? Take notes. And you have to practice that every day for your brain to get used to it. This exam patterns and everything. Do not take the very expensive exams. I don't want you to lose money. So take your time and take the exam. Okay. So tomorrow I will teach you about PEGA certification, and also about like whether some other I mean, I have a few tricks, but I cannot show it in YouTube. So if you want to join, you can join tomorrow's class. I feel personally like whether you have to get into PEGA or not, because I feel PEGA has a lot of scope. But if you want to get into PEGA, then you have to join tomorrow's class, because I'll edit some of the versions. I don't want to put everything in YouTube, because someone can report also, right? These are very expensive exams. They are all very certified, approved providers. So I don't want someone to report saying like, okay, someone is giving training on this without the knowledge. And also this is just for educational purposes. So if you want to take the exam, take it. And my recommendation is like, please don't take it within a week or something after you get some training from the vendor. Please take your time. You need to have at least 2 months of like practice. Every day, 1 hour for 2 months, you have to practice, and then please take the training. Do not go for proxies. Don't do any kind of fraud. Your certifications will be revoked. Okay, please keep that in mind. Okay, thank you everyone for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.